I'm going to get right into it and randomize because I got it laid out right now. Getting a nice little double feast as promised. With a little dessert afterwards, you know what I'm saying? Almost printed off like 1,000 pages worth of break lists. That would have been really bad. I don't think I would have been able to cancel that. Thank you guys for filling both of these beautiful feasts before I was live. So without waiting, we're going to get right into it because we got 2 of these bad boys to open. And then there's one more break left with spots available for this evening. All the prismatic will be done at the end of it. Let me make sure YouTube is on. Had a little bit of a scare today with the internet. I thought the wind is like really, really bad today. But I guess it just went down for a few seconds and then came back up. What's up, Chucky? I'm thinking we've finally given enough blood, enough tears, enough of everything for this God Pack to come out tonight. I think it's got to happen. I don't even know how many packs we've opened at this point. Why is it looking weird on my own? Jeez. Pull you a Father Brian, dude. I hope that catches on. How many Father Brians have you pulled? Enough. In all my years of Catholic school, I don't think we've ever had a Father Brian, though. I'm going to be honest with you. We have had a Brother Doug, though, which is hilarious. Fire. How you doing this fine evening, J-Rox? One of our football coaches was a friar, so he was dressed in his friar attire on the sideline, and honestly, I think it was an intimidation factor in high school. If you saw a friar on the other side of the field, you're like, oh God, what's going on over here? Freshman year, we destroyed people. I haven't changed it yet, Chucky. So it's still a Zard from Burning, but honestly at this point, I can't say God Pack because then it goes to multiple people. I could say maybe Umbreon, but I won't change it today. I'll change it next week. Give me that Yanma. Have you still not gotten one? Because I've gotten my second one now. Even though other people have gotten like their fourth and fifth. No, I'm seriously asking. I thought you got one already. Second even it isn't that impressive anymore, dude. At this point I should have like 10, I guess. I've had a pretty weird couple of days. So I didn't work out yesterday morning because my back was acting up, and it was a good decision because then I just muscle stemmed it and I'm fine today. But at 4 in the morning, I remember to go take the garbage out. All of a sudden, I see something just staring at me, like animal size. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Bro, someone just straight up like abandoned like this old dog, and it makes me so sad. But I called the non-emergency number and they got it. So hopefully it's just lost and someone didn't just drop it off the side of the road. But hope for the best. It's better than the dog just being stuck outside in the cold and raining. But a pretense to that, where it was freaking me out a little bit, was like 2 other things that happened this week. And last stream, if you caught it when I had a quick phone call and I made a face, I'll tell you why. So, Tatsnick, you'll get a kick out of this, okay? You know how I said Haley's parents' house is 1,000% haunted? We've had some occurrences this week. I called her. She was already sleeping, but, she was by her parents because she has teaching stuff to do. Called her. She was already asleep. Phone picked up. She was asleep. Phone just picked up. Heard some rustling around. Her parents even heard me through the door when the phone answered. And I just hung up and thought nothing of it. Second occurrence. When it's one occurrence, it's one thing. You can brush it off, whatever. When it's 2 within days of each other, then you're like, okay, what's going on here? The reason why I made that face on Wednesday, when I had just gotten off the phone call, I had said like good night or whatever, just like a couple words, just saying good night. And about a half second behind me, in a distorted voice on the phone, it repeated what I said. It wasn't an echo. Because I tried to like be like, okay, maybe it was an echo. It wasn't an echo. It was like, you could tell it wasn't. Oh, we're fine here. She was by her parents. I don't allow that stuff in my house, dude. I mean, neither do they, but something's up at their house. I don't know. But with that pretense, that was the morning where the stray dog was in front of my house. What's up, James? And I'm like on high alert already. And then I see like just, this dog is just staring at me. And I didn't know it was a dog at first. But the little thing was just scared. Nah, I felt really bad for it because it was clearly like, it wanted to come up to me, but it would like, then it would like, kind of like be too afraid. It was old and I don't know how long it was out in the rain for, but I couldn't bring it inside the house because Luna is not friendly with other dogs. And honestly, I don't know how this dog would be. No, I didn't see it. What happened? Just scratched it up or what? Me too. Oh no. Where did she find an alt card that it was just laying out, dude? What are you doing? But yeah, it's been an interesting week, to say the least. And now, hopefully, we can just close the week off with a God Pack. And what alt card was it? Yep. Can't do that, dude. Was it still in the wrapper? Because that'll happen. Wrappers are crinkly and shiny. The dogs love the wrappers. If Luna's in here, she'll try to catch them as I'm throwing them into the garbage can. I put on regular music, even though I'm vibing with the old Nintendo. Maybe next week we'll go for 3 feasts on Friday. I wasn't paying attention to the website all day, so I just saw when it filled last night or today, the feast, and then no, it filled Wednesday night, I think. So then I just posted another one right away. What's up, Jay Gardner? How many alt arts have you had out of Prismatic? A good amount by this point. I haven't been keeping count, but like 20 plus, I would say. Maybe more. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping count, but as time has gone on, we've definitely seen a good amount. Ooh, that Gyarados. Jace. Right on time, Mr. Gardner. Been a minute since I've seen that. It's difficult, and I think that's okay. Because when everything is somewhat guaranteed, James, nobody cares about the cards in the set. Anyone who complains The majority of people who complained that the pull rate is hard were the people that skipped other sets because it was easy, which is mind-boggling. Not saying that's you, James, but I'm saying a good amount of people, I could promise you. I mean, when a set has a crazy amount of cards that are worth pulling, it makes it good. That's just how it goes. I'd rather it be like this than nobody cares because people just got every card they wanted the first time they opened packs. Well, that paired with stuff being hard to pull is 100% like not a great combo. But this is what happens when they get a set right. But they didn't get previous set as well. What's up, Gravy? I want to crack a window in here, but it's like extremely windy. That's a ditto, by the way. I'll crack it and see how bad it is. Didn't even tell me who changed the background just now. I'll tell you what, though, if we fill 2 feasts as fast as we did today, next Friday, if we keep that same level, I'll go for 3. What's up, Audrey? Playing Legends Arceus. Nice. On Omega Ruby, I made it to right by Flannery. Didn't battle her yet. Took me a while to like get the actual Pokemon that I wanted on my team because of when they become like catchable. Sorry, had to reset the bulk box. Marchand. And then other than that, I've just been leveling in WoW Classic. I'm 58 now, almost 60. Been enjoying it. Let's go. It's got dark. Jason. It ain't a Father Brian, but it's a Charizard, you know what I'm saying? Very nice. Oh, I think Ayla just got home, so apologize for the dogs barking briefly. The Glamora fighting kind of going off. Dylan? What did we see on Wednesday? Was that the alt Vaporeon? I think that's what it was. The Ogre Mask. Sunflower. Luna, please. She's so rebellious. Okay, this is a broken box of obsidian, I guess. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. All right. Maybe we'll get double Charizard now, too. What's up, Jamerson? I hit 58, dude. We're almost there. And I need one more gem for the Uber's key. It's thick on the top. Maybe you squeeze a 10, probably a 9. Over time, dude, you will regret not having this card in your collection graded. Over time. Because it's a dynamic background where the lights change. See? The original one doesn't change. You just bought one and I pulled you that one? I mean, now you have two. That's not a bad problem, dude. I don't know why people get hung up at, like, I already have that card. And it's like, so? You have 2 of them now. Have 10 of them. Who cares? It's a sick card. No, I know you're happy about it, but, like, other people, they're like, no, I got to get rid of it. I already have it. And it's like, you don't, though. You can just keep it. Also, Jamerson, I have like 600 gold. I might be able to afford the epic mount right when I turn 60. That's the goal, at least. Sparkling crystal. I hear a big gust coming. And that's what I've been doing. Like, I made sure to like get the attunements, all the keys, everywhere like that I can get it before I hit 60. Yeah, my herbing's almost maxed out too, which is good. I can make my bis robes because I have tailoring. I did a little bit of Ultric Valley, just farming for honor and rep. Those turn-ins give you like 6,000 XP. Monster Hunter? No. Those recipes, Jamerson, are they drop from inside the instance? Can't you sneak in solo though and like grab them? Or is it like an actual drop? Well, mages can solo the alligators. I gotta look up what it drops from. I was just happy I almost had the Uber's key. I haven't seen a gemstone off of the... It's just the first boss, too, because I got the last one and I got the Hunter one. Or Voon. And then my buddy Kyle is still farming for Hodge, I think. It's... I don't miss playing Warrior for that reason. It's the best in slot best in slot item with like, I don't even know the percent drop on it. I think it's less than 20%. Yeah, I'll definitely try to. I think right now it's still on Anger. I'll probably go there to help him with that, but I'm done with BRD. I have everything done in there. Unless there's recipes I need to learn from the Dark Iron dude. I didn't pay attention to it, but Criminal was telling me about it in the gaming channel. He said it looks like Assassin's Creed, but for Pokemon. And I was like, that doesn't sound great. That Hyper Mewtwo sounds awesome. And then the Z to A was what, the Generations one? Conkle Dirt. If it's a sequel to Arceus, then that's pretty cool. But whatever else I was hearing about, I was like, yeah, that's not the way to do it. Sounds like they're picking up employees from all these game studios that are downsizing. Well, that mechanic in Pokemon Go is probably like the worst mechanic I've ever tried in a game. Hopefully it's nothing like that. I had this profound thought when I was playing last night on Omega Ruby, which was Protect is the most pointless move in 99% of circumstances. It's literally just whatever happens the turn after it falls off. I'm just realizing that, and I'm like, why was this like still in the game, like still a thing? For double battles, it makes sense to like block like earthquake damage or something, but Protect as a move generally, unless a couple special circumstances are happening, is the most pointless move. I'm not even talking competitive play though, Jamerson. I'm talking just playing the game. It's literally just your opponent uses it to skip a turn, and then whatever was going to happen the turn before happens. All right, let's see this first God pack. At this point, I think we're going to get like 2 of them back to back when it does happen. And then I talked about it before. I'm surprised that like the game that debuted double battles didn't have a double battle for like one of the Elite Four members. I thought that would have been sick. Make it like a really like their team is like super synergized. Because I'm going to have Altaria Swampert, which is pretty nasty. Earthquake, Altaria will be immune to it, I'm pretty sure. The ideal thing would be like a flying electric type, almost like a Zapdos for Gen 3, though. I don't know if there's that existence. I was watching like the highest level of like competitive battles. Some people's combos that they had in double battles were the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Like one of them was, it required 3 different Pokemon. And your opponent, it would basically only work once, and then your opponent would be wise to it. It was like using Delcatty, making the opponent with Gengar Ghost type. I'd have to rewatch the video. But then made his Gengar normal type so that his Pokemon couldn't be damaged by the enemy's Pokemon. And I was like, what? That would be like the worst way to lose. I've definitely butchered the explanation, but I'll rewatch the video. I got the gist of it right, I think, though. There, I didn't follow up on it, but I remember the biggest debate as of late was people using generated Pokemon for those battles versus having to farm their own Pokemon for like perfect IVs and stuff. I'm as a person looking from the outside in, I know that it's time consuming, but at the same time, I feel like that's the purest way of doing it. Yeah. I mean, people are like, it's so time consuming. I guess, but you gotta weigh how much you want to win. I still don't perfectly understand how EV and IVs work. I feel like every game it changes slightly too. IVs, I think you explained, and then recently EVs have been coming up whenever I look up stuff for Omega Ruby, and I'm like, what? Like, what is EVs in the game? Ooh, that Umbreon. And what do you do to increase them? Because they talk about EV training, and I'm like, what? Because it really doesn't explain that anywhere. Earned by defeating wild Pokemon. So how do you know when your EVs have increased or are maxed out? You have to like look at the stats. Okay, so it's a unique thing for each Pokemon. And how does the values for EV, do they factor into the IV at all? Or those are two separate things entirely? Completely separate? Okay. Like my IV is not going to go up because I maxed out the EV. No, that's not going to happen. Okay. There's also like no way to tell the IVs in game. You have to like, I guess they give you numbers, right? But I feel like those are like triple digit numbers. So then you have to look up what's a good number for this Pokemon. Okay, we got no God Pack, but solid amount of hits. Omega Ruby didn't. At least like the first 3 gens of Pokemon I feel like didn't. Unless it does, and I just haven't been paying attention. All right, let's go over these hits and then line up the second feast. Wasn't checkable. So then it should be checkable in Omega then, because that came out after, I think. Yeah, for sure it did. So then, like, it becomes having to know the numbers. But I guess when people are constantly doing that, then it becomes second nature. I don't know. Usually after you beat the Elite Four. So when it doesn't matter, really. I hate when they do that. They give you stuff that, like, you would totally use while you're playing through it, but you can't really use it because the game's already over. Like Omega Ruby, you cannot get Beldum until after you beat the Elite Four. And then you get a Beldum. It's a shiny one, but it's level 5. What am I going to do that? What am I going to do with that? I already beat the game. Right, but it comes down to, like, how much effort do I want to put into this right now? You know what I mean? I guess you can kind of tell if you use the Dex Nav, which I'm surprised I never used it when I was first playing Omega Ruby. Where, like, if it's more stars, it still doesn't tell you the IV, but it tells you, like, the potential. If it's more stars, it's going to be better. Also learned that from you, Audrey. Thank you. In Radical Red. Solid first feast. Let's get to the second one. It's a lot of hits. Let's see if the God Pack is waiting in the second one now. We're getting the reps in. It's a matter of time at this point. What's up, Quarkstress? But yeah, that whole debate of should those competitive players have to farm their own Pokemon team or use perfect computer-generated Pokemon? I don't know. I feel like in the spirit of what Pokemon is, they should have to farm it. But in the same breath, is the amount of money that they could win from the tournament worth the amount of time that they're dedicating? I don't know. That's probably where it becomes an issue. Because having the generate, like, there's like a third-party app that generates perfect Pokemon. But you can tell that it's generated through its ID number. Well, then it becomes an entirely like, all of a sudden people have perfect IVs can make money, which is pretty crazy. That's like some arc level. I see where your head's at, Audrey, and I like it. That's some arc level gameplay. Breeding the dinos. If Pokemon's breeding system was as intricate as Ark's, I think we would be looking at a very like different game. Yeah, it's very. I wouldn't use that. You would have a business, Audrey. You'd be like a dog breeder, but for Pokemon. I'm with you. I think it would open up the door to making the game a lot more like insane. In a good way. But if they opened up color variations like shinies, kind of like in that sense, where that's what you could do in Arc, right? In Arc, you could have different color variations on the dinosaurs. They would show up as mutations. If you could have mutations on Pokemon, where like a certain like their tail's a different color or something like that, that would be so crazy. I think it would take it to a whole nother level. Audrey is. I don't even know how many hours Audrey has. I rented an Arc server because whenever we played Arc when it first came out, we were just pretty much just like PvPing. I never got to like do the breeding because it wasn't really worth your time because the dinos would probably die anyway. Probably because all the new stuff that came out after EX wasn't as good. Just bring back Mega Evolutions. 2K hours, 12,000 hours. Sheesh. With that many hours, it's usually PvE in my experience. Because that's like, honestly, like it's so much fun. You like, hey. I was trying to breed an army of like crazy attack, like max mutation T-Rexes, so that I could kill the boss solo. But then we started playing another game. I still have it on the server though. I haven't played Ascended. I need another water. Yeah. Hold on one sec. Oh, Pokemon games? Yeah, because I've emulated on my phone. I've played a lot of the games that came out. Okay. We are ready for number 2. Ark Survival Evolved. But recently, Ascended just came out. I guess not recently. I think it's been a little bit now that it came out, at least like a couple months. Bro, when Ark first came out, like the original, that thing cooked my graphics card. And that game was just full of cheaters and PvP eventually, just like every other game. You can dial down a lot of the settings, though, to make it run smoother. I did that a couple times, and it helped a lot. All right, good luck, everybody. I remember, like, OG on a PvP server. And for our group of friends, like, we made, like, our own base. We had, like, 6 people playing, I think. But I was the first person to tame a Triceratops. It takes, like, a low-level one will take, like, 2 hours on a lot of those official servers. And then it could just die. YouTube? Yeah, but that's all there was when it first came out, Audrey. It should be, if it's in stock on the website. If not, there might be a reason for that, and I'll double check, but should be. Also, Grass did just get... Did you say Fire A fire hit. Giga imprints were 1%. You could play it solo too, Corkstra. That's what I did, just so I didn't have to mess around on servers with other random people. I just played on my own, and I built a base, bred some dinos. But I would say you definitely, if you're going to play it on PC, make sure you have a good PC. That's all I got to say. I think it was on Game Pass for a little while. I don't know if it still is. There's also, with what Jamerson just said, I agree, but there is also the experience of just roughing it on your own. And I love that. I remember when I rented the server just for myself, I was at the same time when I was breeding T-Rexes, I was breeding Argentavises, which is like, you know, the big birds. And I got one that had a green mutation. It looked like Xatu, so that's what I named it. But if you could do that in Pokemon, like in the games, I feel like that would change everything. Have like a color mutation. Green Ninja. Palworld was good, but it dropped off the face of the earth, I feel like. I played it. I love the base building and stuff, but like I feel like they didn't add more fast enough to like maintain the level of players. All those sales that they had, I wonder how much of the percentage were people refunded after they played it for a little bit before the refund period passed. Because in the circle of people that I know that played the game, a good amount of them refunded after they played it for a little bit. And I feel like the pathing and the bases, everything would always get stuck, no matter what. I never got into Helldivers either, and a lot of people, I feel like that was like the flavor of the month hype game that just died out immediately. I don't think I have either, Jamerson, because usually it's on sale when I buy stuff. Unless it's like a release that I was like looking forward to. The pathing was really bad, especially. I guess it like didn't even matter what size the pals were, because it just, the flyers would always be stuck on top of something, and then everything else would just eventually just pile in a corner. Sick was there. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. The thing I would ride around everywhere and like do caves was I was breeding like for a good baryonyx. I named it Totodile or Croconaw. The stun was broken. It was the best thing for caves. And then since it was on my own server, I cranked the drops like to like really, really like high rarity. So I had like an ascendant sword. I would go into a cave and just go crazy. That was another thing on Pal World, is farming for like the legendary schematics. I was just like, I got bored after I got the first one. I was like, I don't really care about the others. The potential was there, it just needed the follow through. Double trainer, by the way. Louis. The problem was, if you got like Ascendant blueprints, when you got like a ridiculously cranked up blueprint, it took like 100,000 metal to make. In Power World 2, I think they just made their money and they're gonna just call it. Yeah, but I feel like they lost. I remember reading an article. What was it, like 90% of their player base? It just took too long. They had a very small window to capitalize, and I feel like they dropped the ball. Well, I mean, that's how it goes. A lot of those Pokemon or a lot of those pals looked a lot like Pokemon. That's how it goes. Well, yeah. But if they really wanted to turn it into a big court case, then they could have came out with Pal World cards. But they didn't. It's just when they see like 90% of their player base gone as a company or as a, the maker of the game, you kind of just got to like be like, okay, do I dump more money into this with the potential of no one's going to play it, or do we just take that money and we move on? And I'm sure that the second option seems pretty appealing at times. One game I've been playing, Jamerson, if you ever played like the Warcraft 3 like custom games, Legion Tower Defense, they made a standalone. It's not that popular, but there's enough players on there, and I have a good time on there. I enjoy it. I think that genre has so much potential because I thoroughly enjoy playing that game. The Warcraft 3 custom game, I mean, that's where MOBAs were born, dude. That's where Dota was born, League of Legends, which is crazy. Warcraft 3 was where I started for the RTSs. Me and Kyle used to play those all the time. StarCraft is like too stressful for me to enjoy because every second, every click counts, and you need to like memorize the key bindings. Warcraft 3 I feel like was a little bit more laid back. That and Halo Wars, dude. I used to destroy people on Halo Wars. That was their RTS on console. It was so much fun. What's up, Mars Bars and Mini Mignon? How you guys doing? We got one more break after this. If we didn't, where's that tower defense? It's not a tower defense. It's like a Warcraft 3 style RTS. Or are you talking about the game I'm talking about? It's Legion TD2 and it's on Steam. Just relaxing? That's good. Well, we're on the second feast of this evening. I'm trying to get to that stack of Prismatic. Tatsugiri, Dragon. Going to sleep. All right, sorry. Can I? I mean, I'll try. You just gotta believe in me. We're due for it. We haven't seen it. What, Legion TD2? It's a good time. Oh, that's nice. Some new furniture. I made it to like the top 1% in that game. Like rank wise. I have a guild or like a clan in that game. I'll invite you. Oh, that's good. I hope this weather keeps staying nice, but I know it won't. It's still like cool out, but it's like really windy. But yeah, Jamerson, that game, I feel like, once it catches on, like, I'm surprised that they haven't even made, like, a mobile version of it yet. It's the perfect game for that. Gotta reset the bulk. That's slacking. It's clean for colorless. The way you get around it, James, is you play a game that's also on PC, or that was on PC to begin with. That's why like Hearthstone and TFT are king. Both of them originally on PC, and then they made a mobile version where it's like the same game that you would play on PC. But I agree with you. 2 stacks left before Prismatic. Did we fill up break 3 yet? Because if not, now would be a good time to fill it, so we can go right into it. Another Gyarados. Gloom. Well, it's the biggest tower defense game in Warcraft 3 custom games was Legion TD. So I think the makers of that map just split off and they made their own game. It's really good once you get into it. There's a balance between pushing, sending, and building. Exactly. I would definitely play like a bunch of or a couple AI games so you get a feel of it. That Blissey. I've logged a bunch of hours in that game. Because when they came out with the remastered Warcraft 3, they pretty much eliminated the chance of them losing out on another Dota, saying that they owned anything that's made on their custom maps. So like you couldn't really play Legion TD anymore. You can, but it's not the way it used to be. So the closest thing I found was the standalone game. Galvantula. Because back when it was just on Warcraft 3, they had a hosting bot, they had the website, the games would have MMR tied to them, which is pretty nuts, just for a custom game. Yeah. Because I don't know. I feel like as a genre though, that game in that genre is just untouched. Like I feel like it's not. It hasn't even gotten popular yet. Because that's like one of like it's a perfect mobile game. Like to have that on PC and mobile needs to happen. That Drasna. Trainer going off for Louis. Everyone's getting some heat though. I got a good feeling about this stack of Prismatic. Fighting. Very clean flag on. Jose. Once 3 is full, if it's not full already, Nick will be posting Monday's breaks. We'll put up some more 2-boxers like we did earlier this week. And we'll see if we have the same type of people filling 2 feasts before I'm even live, I'll go for a 3rd one next Friday. Mountain of empty packs is just spilled back onto the desk, so I'm just fighting that off. Sorry. The Hearthflame Mask. I don't even know how many trainers you got at this point. It's a good one, Jamerson. I'll get like a game or two in. When I first found it, that was all I was playing. But I still find time to play like a game or two. I'll add you to my clan because you get bonuses for playing in the clan. I gotta kick a couple inactive people and just add you in. Are you in our Discord? Okay. I think our clan is full right now, but I can boot people that haven't logged on for a while. Which I would boot anyone for bad people that like I actually know from here. You can search the Nostalgic Factory, because that's what I named the clan, and then you can request to join if I can invite you. I'm not 100% on that. But if you're on Discord, I can message you. Next time I log on there, I'll just boot a couple people. Thank you for the follow. All right, Prismatic. Show us. We've given everything for a God Pack, dude. We've given enough. It's time. We put the reps in. Blood Moon Ursaluna Alt. That's a very clean card. Added me on Steam. How'd you find me on Steam? I don't even know my Steam name. Oh, okay. That works. I'll make sure to add you in. Master Ball, execute. Tetsnick, that's your alt full art, by the way. That looks really cool. It's the first one I pulled of that. Sylveon, Psychic. Who had Electric too? Audrey. Great Tusk, Fighter. What's up, Notorious? Very good. Did you have a safe journey in all of your drives? That's a Pokeball for Trainer. Oh, that's sad. That's very kind of that person. Yeah, whenever I use it, I make sure to tip at least 5. The only thing I don't like about that app is everything on restaurants' menus tend to be priced higher because the app takes a percentage of the sales, so you're like overpaying for stuff. But sometimes it's the only option. Okay, pour in. But out of all of the food delivery apps, DoorDash is the best one. Uber Eats, it's like a coin toss to get your food stolen. Haven't used it since. The only time I do it is if I'm like in the middle of like doing stuff, like making breaks or doing website stuff. I don't make a habit of it though, James. Especially lately because we've been meal prepping and whatnot. That Noctal. But it's a good side hustle for sure. Especially if you got a fuel efficient car. Listen, dude, when my dad had the pizza place, some of those delivery drivers, that's all they did because it made good money. I'm no messenger boy, princess. I'm a delivery boy. That just popped into my head because we were talking about deliveries. I'm sorry. There you go. Dude, I made good time on both these feasts. I did start earlier than usual. If we do 3 next week, I'll start even earlier. I'll start at 6. Whenever you want to, dude. I'll be here. I don't plan on going nowhere anytime soon. I'm at war with these packs, dude. The war is never ending. All right, Jamerson. I'll be sure to add you. If not, I'll message you on Discord. We do have one more break after this, and I think it's full, or I'd be surprised if it's not. That's a lot of hits. I think it was Wednesday we pulled an alt Zapdos from Chilling too. I love those. Not yet. I just pulled my first Ursaluna alt, which is really cool. I'm not even worried about first Umbreon. I just want my first full-on God pack. We got the Semi-God pack, I feel like, so early. Which I just clipped that and I'm going to post it. Well, it's going to be a tall order, real man, but I hear you. All right, if 3 is full and good to go, I got to randomize real quick. Then we'll open it up. And I got to run all this stuff out to Nick so everything is shipped just as fast as it has been. Well, I mean, there's no more coming down the pipeline, despite what people, just claim to believe. It is an option. You could buy out an entire small break, real man, and then you'll have packs to open on your own. But it is what it is. Why are both those piles even? They shouldn't be. Because I split it down the middle at the top, like an idiot. All right, let's randomize. All right, printing. This is the last one. Because we just did 2 feasts. And the feasts were large. It's like 3/4 of a case each feast. Steel right off the bat. 2/3 rather, I think is a more accurate fraction. The heat's been good. How about you, my friend? How's it going with you? That's slacking. What's up, Miranda? Living life and keeping busy, huh? There you go. Nice. Yeah, my garden planting is literally we just plant like a buttload of jalapenos and then I jar them. And I had like a ridiculous amount of jars last year. I need to buy like an actual like canning setup because me just using like the biggest like pot of boiling water that we have is just, it's not the cleanest way of doing it. What are some of the notable things, unless you were just talking like flowers, like just decorative, but it sounds like you're talking more produce. My grandpa growing up, before he passed away, his garden was insane. He had everything, dude. And then he would make his rounds because on my mom's side, it's 3 daughters. So my mom and 2 aunts. But he would make his rounds and just drop off like whatever he had in the garden. The wind isn't being picked up too much on the mic, right? Because it's a nice breeze in here. Mondays is posted on the website now, just so people are aware. Grab those spots early and no wait. I'll start earlier on Monday too. Those 2 boxers are a lot of fun. It's more than 2 boxes, but the double size of this version. Hundreds of crops that will hopefully... Hundreds, jeez. That's awesome. That's a lot of different things to manage too. Because I like looked up specifically like how much to water and do whatever with the jalapenos, and it worked well, but you start adding in like 3 or 4 more, and then I'm like probably getting overwhelmed. That's a lot of different conditions to manage too. Do you fence it all off too? So that like, because we have rabbits by us, they would destroy the jalapenos if they were within reach. One thing we don't have near us, and it really throws me off now that I think about it, is squirrels. I don't know if it's like just not a Wisconsin thing, but in Illinois there were squirrels everywhere. You would think too, because it's like a lot of Wisconsin's like heavily wooded. Nice. Do you automate the watering too? Dude, with how big one of my jalapenos plants got, well, they all got pretty big, but one of them I had to like anchor to the house because like it would like break the stakes that I put like in the ground. Organic and pesticide free. Well, as an individual, just having a couple plants in the backyard, I don't really have access to pesticides or would really use them. I guess I have access to them, but I wouldn't really use it. Automated watering system, very good. I hope the dragonflies are as abundant this year as they were last year, because they ate all of the wasps and I like hardly saw any. And whenever I did see one, I went out of my way to kill them. Those are my mortal enemy as a species. And the dragonfly's just been ganking them. I watched a video of a dragonfly eating a wasp or like attacking one. They catch them midair, dude. They use their little arms. So like whenever I saw like dragonflies just like chilling in the backyard, I'd give them pep talks. Dude. It'd be like, eat all of the wasps you can. I'll leave out whatever you want. I think they listened. And Brandon, I'm now understand. Like I had the understanding before, but just so you know, I knew you were talking to him about having pesticides. You like to use peppermint pollinators, nice. Peppermint pure Castile soap. I like to use this thing called Raid Wasp Killer, and then I leave the wasp body out to as an example. You know, like how back in the day, like even in Pirates of the Caribbean, they would display like hung up pirates. I would display wasps to let them know this was a wasp hostile area. It's about sending a message. All right. Here's our last prismatic of the week. Let's see if we're going to get the God Pack now or it's going to be next week, I guess. That is a beautiful two-tone Trainer. What do we got here? Vaporeon with a Max Rod. Who's got water? Alicia, very good. Gorgeous Vaporeon. And usually, like, generally speaking, with flying insects outside, if you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. It's not the case with wasps. They go to me. They actively want to start stuff. The one that swooped at me in the garage started a war, and now it's ground zero at my house for wasps. I will be inside in the kitchen. If I see one that, like, landed, like, in the backyard, like, by the back door, I stop what I'm doing and I kill it. They made it personal, is what they did. Lucaria. My disdain for them goes back to when I was younger, like really young, and there was a wasp nest in our gutter, and I got like swarmed by them. I only got stung like 2 or 3 times, luckily. Ever since then, it's been war. People could say fear, it's hate. As pure as you can get it. Solid last break. This God Pack is making us work for it, dude. But I'm not gonna stop till we get it. Monday's breaks are up on the website. We're going to continue getting the heat. And I'll be on the gaming channel Sunday. But guys, thank you for an amazing week. We opened a lot this week. Got a lot of heat this week. Well, it's been like since Wednesday you asked me. But I'm hoping to hear back. The next time I hear back from them is going to be a tracking number, basically. that was our last conversation with them. And don't worry, it will be posted when that happens. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. Have a good rest of your weekend. Love every single one of you. You're all beautiful. No, you're good. I last time you asked, I think it was literally Wednesday, and I responded. I wasn't like trying to be rude or nothing. Just letting you know. But you guys have a good rest of your evening. And I'll see you Sunday. If not, back here on Monday.